Ocho, Nicki Minaj, and other artists have seemingly called out Jay-Z, who's the co-producer of the Super Bowl halftime show.
And even though he wasn't named, but Jay-Z's decision to have Kendrick Lamar headline.
Nicki Minaj has declared war on Jay's and Beyoncé, accusing them of sabotaging her career, stealing millions, and orchestrating a campaign to silence her voice forever. And this isn't some cryptic jab or vague lyric. This eyes-scorched earth naming. Timely confirming fury from a woman who says she's had enough. For years, Nicki played the industry's good soldier, towing the line even when it twisted against her. But now she's letting it all burn, from social media rants to pointed exposes. She's painting fake artists as cold manipulators, industry archits, who allegedly built an empire not just on talent, but on betrayal, control, and backdoor deals designed to raise competition. In Nicki's words, Jay-Z is
understanding to what's going on, so I'm hearing people talk, but I don't know because I'm on the outside looking in, and I got the feel it's like having a donut.
Is no visionary mogul. He's a spiteful and evil kingpin hoarding the levers of power while systematically freezing her out off spaces she helps shape. Her tone isn't the usual celebrity indignation, it's Harper, more urgent. She's accusing Jay-Z and his network of blackballing her from major opportunities, funneling profits into private pockets, and most explosively using their influence to isolate and neutralize her voice. In her own tweet, she claims she didn't see one red penny from the TAL venture despot promoting it more than anyone but Beyoncé. The allegation that went the platform sold for over $300 million. Jay kept the pie for himself and offered at her crumbs. Dusted in silence, seemed if that wasn't enough.
Funded, they pay you to not talk about things they don't want you to talk about. They tell you that themselves.
She's winking at something even darker. That speaking out against these power plays put her in actual danger. Her cryptic warnings, unsettling tone shifts, and sudden bursts of paranoia seem to suggest she's not just fighting for recognition. She's fighting for protection. Got everything in the world still spiteful and evil, sure out. Disgusting, it's a chilling line, especially when followed by comparisons to political puppeteers, social manipulators, and house puppet behavior. Is Nicki hinting at an industry-wide network of handlers and enforcers? Or has she seen something the rest of us haven't? Where things
this can be reported. Also, I don't understand. I don't know what's going on, but things like this can be reported as smoke and mirrors as well.
Start twisting into the conspiratorial, the type of speculation that the music elite pretends not to believe, while obsessively watching from burner accounts. Multiple whispers, including gone from a former Rock Nation assistant while later scrubbed their socials, have pointed toward an Illuminati-style blacklist forming in the industry, one that Jay-Z is allegedly central to. That claim that Nicki Minaj was deliberately excluded from key cultural moments as punishment for stepping out of line, her repeated snubs from the Met Gala, her absence from the Grammy nominations despite chart success, and now the 20-5 Super Bowl halftime show, all positioned as data points in a pattern of coordinated exclusion, not coincidental, calculated. Jay-Z, long rumored to be the gatekeeper of the list, has never publicly addressed these underground claims, but the signs have a funny way of stacking up. Consider this: in the same year Kendrick Lamar was tapped to headline a Super Bowl, Nicki and Lil Wayne, two of the most enduring hip-hop artists of their generation, were cast aside, not even considered for guest slots. Why? The whispers say it's no artistic merit, but internal politics, Jay's ego, his feud with Birdman, his war with Drake, and yes, a lingering disdain for Nicki that dates back to Roc Nation's rejection.
Nicki was tweeting a lot. One was denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your
of her team during early management negotiations. One former A&R called it an old wound Jay never let heal. The exclusion of Lil Wayne in particular has become a spark that set Nicki's public outburst ablaze. The Super Bowl is shedded to New Orleans, Wayne's city, Wayne's home turf. And yet he was passed over for a West Coast rapper in Kendrick. No disrespect to Caught, even Nicki herself clarified her appreciation for his artistry. But the emotional math doesn't add up. Denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego, she wrote.
About Birdman, anytime he puts on Miss Gladys, he means
your hatred for Birdman, Drake. And Nicki got you punishing Lil Wayne. According to Nicki, this wasn't just a slight, it was a message, a power move. A slap from the top of the letter, reminding everyone who still holds the strings. And let's not pretend Wayne was silent, the man known for playing things cool admitted. In a rare vulnerable moment that being passed over broke him, not disappointed him, broke him. There's a gravity to that word, like Sameth and Jinside snapped. Like he realized what Nicki's been screaming all along. That this industry rewards politics over passion. That legacy doesn't matter when your name is on the wrong list, but others where things slide from revenge into profit, according to insiders. Jay-Z's Super Bowl choices aren't just about the music, they're about long-term brand alignment. His Rock Nation partners, notably...
That's business, though. That's just business.
They was like, it's all good. So,
well, the only other thing I would say to that tweet from Nicki Minaj is...
the same ones invested in Kendrick's touring and catalog assets. Stood to gain from Lamer's exposure on the biggest stage in entertainment. And what about Wayne? He owns his masters, he's not tied to any machini. His inclusion wouldn't spike Kanayan's balance sheet but his own. Such choice was made not for the culture or the coin kicker. Some believe Jay-Z offered Wayne a late-stage guest spot, a humiliating side-door entry framed as Apis offering. Birdman reported Lie logged it off. Cameron called it egregious and Nicki she erupted. To her it was the ultimate insult, first erase, then offer scraps. The same tactic Sheck claims was used on her after her fallout with Rock Nation's Megan Thee Stallion. First came the cold shoulder, then the quiet phone calls suggesting a feature. It's a cycle and she says she sees it clearly now, so where does Beyoncé fit into all this? Well, that's where things get murkier and eerier. Nicki's shatter rarely hits B directly, but her post-shave started to contain phrases like "the women who stay silent" when it suits the man, the queens who co-sign by omission. Her frustration seems to lie in what she views as complicity, Beyoncé's refusal to speak up even as her husband allegedly tightens the screws. And let's not forget Nicki was once hood to shoulder with Beyoncé, promoting Ta, collaborating on Feeling Myself and being paraded as the future of female rap. Now she's invisible or worse, expendable. And let's circle back to TIDAL, shall we? Because this is thread Nicki keeps tugging on when Jay-Z sold the platform for over $300 million. Reports claimed each of 30...
Nicki Minaj has dragged Jay-Z to filth. She blasts him for being evil and spiteful.
Stakeholders walked away with around $9 million apiece. But Nicki Sissu received not one red penny, not a dime, not even a phone call. And when she questioned it, silence or worse, Aramir campaign branding her difficult. It's the oldest trick in the mogul handbook, discredit the voice before it gains. Volumes paint her as erratic, emotional, unstable. Anything to dodge with question. Industry insiders close to the original rollout confirmed that Nicki was off the most vocal promoters of the service. Even more than some of the artists who ALLEGEDLY got payouts. Shedded interviews, social posts, exclusives. And now she's stuck watching the bag float away without a trace. If that's not personal, what is? Wick brings us full circle to a woman who's run out of favors to cash and bridges to preserve. She's not just calling out business moves. She's accusing Jay-Z and by extension the power elite.
You know, Lil Wayne and sort of the things he's gotten into, the random things, run-ins with the law, whatever he's had over the last few years, that would not be typical of the brand of
operating like puppeteers. Of pulling the culture into deals that benefit the few and erase the many. Her fight is no longer just about a concert slot or a payment. It's about visibility, credibility, and maybe survival, because when whistleblowers in the industry start talking, things happen. Contractions disappear. Project stall. Security concerns mysteriously escalate. Ask Kaepernick, ask Kesha. Ask anyone who dared to tug at the mask. No, Nicki Minaj is tugging with both hands. And if even half of what she's salvaging is true, if this web of influence really does stretch from Super Bowl stages to equity buyouts and silent blacklists, then we may be witnessing something far more explosive than a rap feud. This could be the first crack in a wall that's been standing for 2 decades, and now, as the temperature off this feud rises from simmer to full boil, we need to—
no circumstances am I gonna be quiet when you talking about him like that, Nicki Minaj. What the hell was that? What's that?
Talk about what I's actually doing to Nicki Minaj, because while the headlines scream about her anger, her rants, her fight, there's another story playing out underneath. Aster told not in live streams or interviews, but in fragments, posts that vanish. Comments buried between emoji-stuffed lines, warnings that don't read like threats, they read like cries. One tweet in particular sent her fanbase spiraling into decoding mode. God will punish you. Mark my words, is that fury or fair? Is she naming karma or signaling that the walls are closing in? And then there was this one, if I say more, it'll be your fault. That was aimed at Stephen A. Smith after had offended Jay-Z, but when we look closer, it sounds like something else entirely, like someone trying to warn off a storm. She's been using phrases like they'll regret this and you don't know the half of it. Those aren't clapbacks. Those are the kinds of lines people drop when their lawyers are watching, or worse. when someone behind the scenes is reminding them what's at stake. We've seen this pattern before. Britney spoke in code, flipped from cryptic to chaotic. Now Nicki's walking that same line. The one where the industry starts painting you unstable just as you start naming names, and what's terrifying is how quickly the narrative shifts. 1 minute you're the queen off rap, the next you're emotional, ungrateful, problematic. They did it to Jeanette, they did it to Lauren, they tried it with Cardi. Nicki knows the playbook, which is why she's not playing along.
Easy, guys.
But what happens when you stop playing the game in a business built on silence? A former assistant from a major music firm, one that has worked with Roc Nation, recently told a podcast anonymously that there are people who've been told not to engage with Nicki unless they're cleared by higher ups. Translation: she's being slowly frozen out, not dropped, not blacklisted, just muffled, not invited, not booked. Her name no longer whispered with reverence, but with caution. Lizzie Cook. And the fear now among fans and insiders alleges that this is the soft open of Attic Down. That what we're watching is at a feud. It's a purge. Easy, guys, easy. Which brings us to the silence that's growing louder by the day. Beyoncé. The same woman who once stood beside Nicki on stage, arm in arm, trading verses on Feeling Myself. The same woman what tapped Nicki to bring edge to her visual era, and now, not a word, not a post, not even a blink. And we can't pretend that silence doesn't mean something. Not when Beyoncé has carefully crafted her public image as both protector and power broker in an industry ruled by optics. A former music executive who once handled brand deals for Ivy Park claims that Beyoncé's team has been highly proactive about keeping her image clear of messy public disputes, even if it means stepping back from old alliances. That same source floated a theory knows spreading fast online that Beyoncé's absence isn't indifference. It's strategic.
I know so much on how you got where you are.
Strategic protection for Jay, for Roc Nation, for the Empire. In other words, while Jay plays the frontman in this alleged campaign, Beyoncé may be running damage control from the shadows. Some are asking the unthinkable. Were the collabs ever real, or were they calculated placements, a way to keep Nicki close on a leash, visible but never threatening? It's not lost on anyone that once Nicki started stepping out on her own terms, building her brand outside the curated filters of Ta and Roc Nation circles, the calls stopped coming. The cousins dried up and Beyoncé, the industry's unofficial diplomat, stopped returning the favor. That shift didn't happen overnight. It happened in slow when they stopped performing loyalty and start asking questions, and Nicki's asking. The biggest one of all, who actually runs this business, who's right now. She's challenging two of its most untouchable figures.
All lies will be exposed, that's all. And anyone who takes that the wrong way, know why they take it the wrong.
A couple who've turned privacy into power and whose moves often play out like chess in the fog. But now, the fog is lifting, and what's behind it? Maybe a fortress, maybe a trapdoor. Jay-Z has never been just a rapper, he's a brand, avenger, a gatekeeper. Of televised moments and billion-dollar stages, Beyoncé is a symbol of perfection. The flawless queen woe doesn't just make history, she narrates it together. They are untouchable until now because what Nicki is doing, whether consciously or from the pressure of being cornered, is shaking the scaffolding they've built. These pulling focus where it's never supposed to go to the deals, the exclusions, the quiet decisions that shape who gets seen and who gets it leaned, and if she's right. If there really is a campaign to silence her, to erase Wayne, to keep the young money lineage from stepping too far into the spotlight, then the industry isn't just complicit, it's coordinated. Built to protect dynasty, one that rewards loyalty with opportunity.
When people are against the Illuminati, then they get punched in the face all the time. The press hates them, and nobody likes them.
And punishes dissent with invisibility. That's not a feud, that's a system. Which is why her words are starting to feel like more than clapback. They read like coded distress signals. Like someone trying to leave a trail in case they go missing from the narrative. Give them their flowers while they can still smell them. Sitting around playing with people's legacy. God ain't sleep. These aren't just metaphors, they're warnings from someone who knows too much. Who's lost too much and who might be losing more. So, now the question isn't just whether Nicki Minaj is lashing out. It's whether she's standing alone against a machine too big to beat. She may be loud, brash, unapologetic, but underneath that is Simeone who knows exactly how far this industry will go to protect its chosen few. She's seen it up close and she's daring to speak on it. As Nicki Minaj continues to fight back and reveal what she calls the truth, we're left with one question. How far will Jay-Z and Beyoncé go to maintain their empire, and will Nicki Minaj's voice be silenced before the full story can come to light? Comment below if you think she's exposing the truth or digging her own grave. And we'll be watching just like you. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never forget.